Today, one of my clients asked me when she was going through a rough time, she's like, are you always happy? And I got a pretty interesting answer for that, so stay tuned. What's up, everybody? This is Chris from The Rewired Soul, where we talk about the problem, but focus on the solution. And I'm just gonna cut right to the chase. I'm not gonna drag this thing on and make you wait for that answer and leave a cliffhanger or anything. For the most part, I'm always happy. Not always, I would say 98% of the time, I am happy. And stay tuned, stay with me here. Stay until the end of this video because there's a very valuable lesson, but this isn't a brag. Like I said, my client was coming to me because she was going through a very difficult time and hitting some depression and stuff like that. And I was thinking about it, man, I've come a long way, and I just hope that my happiness gives some people some hope. Check out some of the other videos linked up in the info card. 5 years ago, I was about to die from a drug addiction. I spent most of my life depressed and anxious and angry at the world for the terrible hand I was given, being the son of an alcoholic mother. And all these things, the whole time I was just thinking about how the whole world was just against me. I'm gonna be miserable my whole life, and this is just the way it is. And that's not true. Now, I'll let you know right now, the first couple years of my life in sobriety were miserable. They weren't all miserable, but there was more bad than there was good. And I just hung on to this glimmer of hope. I will never forget looking at people who had this happiness that I wanted. I longed for it, I needed it, this happiness. And when I got to know these people who had that happiness that I was looking for, I realized that the things I thought I needed were this fabrication of my mind, and a lot of it was based on these societal norms that I thought we needed to be happy. And what I'm saying is that I would meet people who were making 6 figures a year, and I would meet people who were working at the McDonald's drive-thru, and both of them were equally as happy. I would meet somebody who was married for 30, 40 years. I would meet somebody who was, 40 or 50 years old and single and no kids, and they were both equally as happy. I'm like, how do they get that? How do they get that? And, the simple answer was it took them a lot of work, and they gave me those tools, and I have since then expanded on those tools. And the whole reason I do this YouTube channel is so I can give people like you hope. I want you to realize that my life was a hot mess for so long, and now it is so much better. But I remember, and you might be in this mindset right now, I remember looking at people who were happy, and I was thinking about how lucky they were. You're so lucky to be happy. You're lucky to have these things, right? And for example, I'm not rich, I'm not famous, I'm not married, I have a son, I have a girlfriend. Those things I'm very grateful for them. But I want to let you know, I'm not lucky with my happiness. This whole thing right here took a lot of work. It takes work. Still to this day, I have to work on my happiness. I have over 100 videos on this channel. I think I'm up to about 130, okay? Each one contains some kind of insight I have to how I have achieved my happiness and my mental well-being. And I encourage you to look through them and start practicing them. This whole thing just doesn't happen by accident. It's much like people who succeed. They are typically the people who are working the hardest. Now, those of you out there watching this who struggle with depression is an illness that affects our motivation. That is why I made a depression hack series to teach you how to increase serotonin levels to spark that motivation. Because trust me, there's days when I just don't want to do anything. I don't want to do this, but I know how important my mental health and my happiness is to me. Now, 98% of the time I'm happy. The other 2%, I'm angry, I'm sad, I'm anxious, I'm depressed, all these different things. I'm stressed out. I'm an adult, I have a kid and all this stuff. And you know what? I am so grateful that 98% of the time it's not like that. And during that 2% of the time when I'm having a rough day, I go to work, I put in the work. I will link my video to how to leave the pity party. It's one of my least viewed videos, and it's probably one of the most important ones I made. So please go check it out, because I have to leave my own pity party. And I will do some videos about gratitude pretty soon for the lovely month of November. But that's one of the ways that I leave that pity party, is that I have to remember what I'm grateful for. If you are somebody like me who is lucky to be alive today, and if you're watching this, you are extremely lucky to be alive today. And that right there is enough to keep me grateful through some of my toughest times. So, like, I just really wanted to make this video because that was a very important question that she asked me. And it reminded me, like, how much work goes into my mental health. But it's not even work. Like, I love doing it because I just love being in a good mood. I'll leave you with this. For a guy like me, to have people come up to me and comment on how happy I am all the time, or having a smile on my face all the time, knowing the life I came from, that in itself is a damn miracle, okay? So I just hope that gives you just a little glimmer of hope that you can get there too. But for the question of the day, I want to ask you this. I'm interested to hear your thoughts. What is your view of happiness? What do you think happiness looks like for you? Leave it down in the comments below. But like I said, I have a ton of videos on this channel, so be sure to click or tap right over there. And if you're new here, I don't know what you're waiting for, click that little round subscribe button too. I'm always making videos about mental health and mental illness and addiction all the time, so make sure that you're the first to know when I make those videos. Thanks for watching. I hope you're inspired, and I'll see you next time.